Shocking news minutes ago as the airlines apparently out of nowhere are going back into our second stimulus package to get us back to that October 1st deadline. This is incredibly great news. Apparently the airlines were not happy that the cows got stimulus before the airlines overnight. They're like, the cow over the moon? Well, we could have taken you there, we're the friendly skies. The cows are sort of, pushing back, but the airlines looked at the cows and said, how did you get stimulus? Why did Nancy give the farmers stimulus and the cows way before us? And the cows just sort of look back and it's like, do you think I'm a pushover? The airlines are like, Betsy, what did you do? What did you do? It's like, move it out of the way. And as millions of Americans wait for the push to get a second stimulus package, the cows are just sort of, wagging their tail in the sky. Our reaction, of course, is that's a lot of bull. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm here. You're here. Your cows, maybe, off to Club Med, apparently. But the great news is that there's incredible progress on your second stimulus package because of that strange group of people who are in our package, they're not in our package. It's sort of like, roommates just sort of come and go in those airlines. I'll be getting into the incredible details about that minutes from now on a day in which there's so much great news on second stimulus package. This is about hazard pay. That $10,000 that could land in your bank account if you worked in the pandemic as a frontline worker. Whether you're a frontline worker, whether you worked at a grocery store or supermarket or a liquor store or a convenience store or worked at a fast food chain, worked at a pharmacy, worked at a restaurant, you were a driver at Uber or Lyft, you did Airbnb, any of these certain things that you sort of qualify for, or a shipper, a driver, a warehouse or security guard in operations or maintenance. This could be your money, and so I really appreciate you for tuning in. This is LALATE Afternoon. Starts every day at 3:30 with a check, then goes a hazard pay. This video 30 minutes after this is unemployment. You need to watch that video as well. And one thing I haven't said for a while is that you can get unemployment and hazard pay at the same time. Absolutely, categorically, if you were laid off. Finally, after that is rent, but I'll be adding for rent because the viewers have asked me some EIDL and some stock stuff, US stock market coverage. So here is the shocking details. Who would have thought this would happen? The airlines are back in with us. Are you serious? Can we trust them? They just got, he saw the cows hustling everyone. Get out of the herd. We're tired of that herd. This is utter nonsense. Move out of the way. I got some milkshakes for you. We're airlines. I'll give you some salted nuts on the side. Apparently, the airlines want to get back into the second stimulus package. This is insanely great news. And let me explain to you why. And I don't know why this is suddenly happening, but I'll explain to you why it's good news. The airlines being in the second stimulus package is the best thing you could ever categorically want. I broke this detail in a world exclusive on Saturday, that the airlines, by being in the second stimulus package, create a timeline for us that has to get things done. I know it sounds ridiculous. You've been waiting around for your stimulus check since April, and no one has ever thought anything is urgent for you. But a bunch of rich people that have very nice planes, fly around first class, suddenly have an urgency for themselves. Well, ultimately, it's something that you might be a little pissed about, but you shouldn't be that way. You should be motivated, because by them being in a package where your checks are and your hazard pay is, it helps us get to the deadline and the finish line faster and together. What's going on, Let me explain to you. Airlines have a deadline. The deadline is October 1st. It's a hard, fast deadline. It's not a faux deadline. It's not a fabricated deadline. It's not a fluffy deadline. It's a real deadline. The deadline of October 1st stems from federal law. The federal law says they must make a determination about the employment of tens of thousands of airline workers. These are people who don't want to lose their jobs. It will impact everything. And the airlines don't want to have them to lose their jobs. But under federal law, they have to make a determination whether to fire these furloughed people or rehire them by October 1st. Unfortunately, they don't have the money to do it because they're not making any money. The airlines are down 85%. So they have to make that determination by October 1st. And they need the stimulus package bill, which has your stimulus checks in it, has hazard pay in it, has FPUC in it, by October 1st. Oh, this is so good. So that means what for timeline, LALATE? Well, it means that the House of Representatives would have to vote on the bill September 30th, and it would mean the Senate has to vote on the bill the day before, which is September 29th. Well, that's just around the corner. Yeah, it is. This is so critical. Now, is there support for this? Absolutely. Both the House and the Senate, both Republicans and Democrats, even the Temple Doom, even Mark Meadows say, we got to get this done. And what's great about this, in a strange way, is the airlines was not in anyone's stimulus package. It wasn't the HEROES Act, it wasn't the HEALS Act, it wasn't the Problem Solvers Bill, it wasn't anywhere. It was literally absolutely nowhere. So they're throwing it, they're agreeing that they have to throw it into the package where we are at and get it done by October 1st. If that's true, and the disclaimers are coming up right after the sentence, if that's true, you would get your stimulus check on or around the day or two after October 11th. Oh my God. Okay, let me give you the disclaimers. First, this is based upon a lot of strange things that are happening. First, the airlines were going to go into our second stimulus package over the weekend. Then on Monday, Senator Vic Wickers, I love his chairs, and Senator Collins, no relation to Phil, introduced a horrible bill which was going to streamline the airlines in a standalone bill. Well, minutes ago, several of the airlines, in quotes I'm going to go over with you, including Southwest Airlines CEO, JetBlue's Airlines, United's Airlines, they're now suggesting that maybe they're going back into the stimulus package. If that's true, they have an October 1st deadline. If Congress acts like they're saying to, and Congress has lied to us before, the vote would be on the signing of the bill by the president would be October 1st. If that's true, then based upon Steve Mnuchin's representations, not my representations, IRS can get you stimulus checks within 10 calendar days. That would be about a day or two thereafter. So you could potentially see stimulus checks on or around October 11th if all that happens. I'm not telling you you're going to get stimulus checks on October 11th. I'm not telling you that they're going to vote on the bill on October 1st. I'm telling you that this is a possibility based upon what everyone has represented to us. I'm reporting to you their representations. But this is where you have to really be on the move. You got to be on social media and pushing. Now, let me explain to you what they're saying today. What they're saying is that Southwest Airlines' Gary Kelly says, we're hopeful they come to an agreement with the stimulus package, including your checks, and that gets passed and help the economy, obviously the travel industry. Then there's United. American Airlines, its CEO, Doug Parker, said that the furloughs are coming up in a few days and says it's 8 days away. This might have been today's article, yesterday's article. It'd be a very, very horrific event if that happens, given all the support. But if we can't get it done by October 1st, absent absolute certainty, that will happen in the near future. What will happen in the near future is implosion. Airlines may go bankrupt. Airlines will shut down routes across the country. You won't be able to get from city to cities that you would normally do. They're currently running all itineraries like they would normally do, but with empty planes. 85% capacity is down. So they've not cut routes, and they've not and so they're burning through cash like they've never seen before. The reality is we need to do more to keep these professionals. We're at a critical cog in our economy. We need to bounce back. Then there's JetBlue CEO Robin Hayes says, we have 23 JetBlue employers who have done their job. These are amazing essential workers. Hazard pay. Other airlines in the U.S. have done their job as too. We need Congress to move. We need you to do your job right now. The CARES Act has saved thousands of people, but now is the time to save this. So if this is essentially true, then one of the most important groups of people under hazard pay, who are actually also entitled to hazard pay, could be pushing you to the finish line. When we talk about hazard pay, we talk about a lot of things, and one of the things we talk about is the Problem Solvers Bill. Problem Solvers Bill does not have hazard pay in it, and that's the vote. That is the vote and the bill that is likely to get the airlines added to it. The great news is that the authors of the Problem Solvers Bill say that they will add things to it as they come due. And we have now seen that Meadows and Pelosi say they will add airlines to it. Well, then you also have to add hazard pay. The reason why hazard pay is not in the problem solvers bill is because when the problem solvers went to meet with Nancy Pelosi to discuss what she wants in their bill, she would meet with them. So there was nothing of her desire in the bill. And so that is why when I'm tweeting images of what the problem solvers need to do, it has in there a hazard pay provision. The insanely great news, hence, now as we sit here at the 10-minute mark today, is that the push to get your hazard pay, the push to get your second stimulus checks, the push to get your second stimulus package may and apparently does have the airlines back in the package, despite the fact that that horrible standalone bill is over there that no one really wants, including you and I. This is insanely great news. So when this video goes live, you're going to see me tweet an image on Twitter at LALATE that has two calendars on it, September and October. It'll show you the deadline. It'll show you the deadline, and you need to tag your politicians and say, hey, get this vote done, get our stimulus package done. You have a deadline. Do you want to implode the U.S. economy's airline industry? Transports, people won't be able to get places. I mean, you can't just do this. You can't do this to Americans and have people not be able to travel. Thousands and thousands of jobs will be lost. Families will be, really badly hit if all these people lose their jobs on October 1st. Get this done together with us. Get it to the finish line. The things that the problem solvers bill needs to fix are stimulus check, that dependence issue. The the problem solvers bill provides the following for the second stimulus checks: $1,200 individuals, $2,400 married couple, not taken out for child support, not taken out for collections. But the two things that need to be fixed or clarified are, one, that the provision will pay at least a 5-member household. So that would be 5 times $1,200, $6,000, married couple with 3 kids, for example, or single mom with 4 kids. Next, that the dependent check is $1,200. It's just not going to cut it at $500. My SSI, Social Security, Railroad benefit viewers who did not get a first stimulus check would get a second stimulus check under the problem solvers bill. They have it in there. But the problem is that they want to give them $500? No. You give them $1,200. Next, the issue of FPUC. It's in there but needs to be fixed because it's not retroactive. Finally, hazard pay. The big one, and the reason why you're watching this video, it doesn't have hazard pay in the problem solvers bill. It needs to have it in there. The president has always come out in favor of essential workers, has always come out in favor of frontline workers. He did that tweet, about 5 weeks ago where he talked about, let's set out some stimulus checks, let's pay some frontline workers. Well, now's your time. Which bill should be in the problem solvers bill? You will see on my tweet, I'm calling for the Romney plan. The Romney plan is the best single standalone hazard pay provision that can be merged into the problem solvers bill. That's what they do. They merge bills together because the Romney plan requires your employer to apply for hazard pay. The employer must apply for hazard pay for you. Whether or not you've been fired or laid off, or whether or not the employer dislikes you, they must. It actually says must. And that the employer applies for you. The employer is paid to apply for you. The great news is that you would be guaranteed to receive your hazard pay. Under the Temple of Doom's version of hazard pay under the HEROES Act, it's a guessing game. And if the employer doesn't apply for you, there's nothing for you to do. That doesn't work. No, that doesn't work. So this would come to you as a lump sum. It would not conflict with anything else. It would not conflict with anything else you have going on. And again, I've said this before, but let me make it clear, is that if you have been laid off, or you worked at a place and then they reduced your hours or fired you, you would still get the hazard pay from that employer. All incredibly great news. Let me answer some of your 540 questions from yesterday's video. Tona, why don't they want to pay people hazard pay? Why are they putting their lives on the line? While they're putting their lives on the line? I don't know. Cheap asses. Michael Harris, if we're supposed to get multiple checks, then they owe us this money for months they've missed. Kenneth Morrison, more likely that Congress members will be giving themselves hazard pay. Yeah, I love that one. Maria Ponte, good evening. Until when do we have the politicians stop abusing us U.S. people? Amen. Donna May, move over to the stimulus package. Why don't the farmers like to feed them? Cows run bales of hay. Move because they're not getting square meals. Linda Hutchinson, how does the airlines and small business expect to stay in business if we don't get a stimulus check to spend on them? Oh, I love that. That's a great comment. Absolutely. Barbara Marshall. One step forward, 6 steps back. Here we go. Get them out of office. Rick Riddle. It's always something that never fails. Mr. Ross. I'm thinking we'll get our stimulus before the 2028 elections. Sherry, we need to push Problem Solver's proposal to get a vote. It's the best option we have. Amen, Sherry Zemanek. Terry D, they really need to get their priorities straight and get the damn people's bill done. Stimulus, FPUC, hazard pay, SBA funding, and the like. Oh, Terry said it exactly right. A longtime viewer. Thank you, Terry. Connie, wait till she meets the Bulls. Don't be dressed in red. I love that. Robert Glover, we the people, Purple Power need to just flush, wash, and start over. Amen. Don Broyles, Purple Power needs to walk Washington. Carla Lee, waiting on more names. Seats for stimulus. Yes, I will be tweeting their names for you. Don Richardson, I sent a message to Romney about a hazard pay bill. It was retweeted by others, so let's see if it gets the message. Oh, I love that. Yes, I forgot to say that in this video. You need to tweet Romney. Get us hazard pay, Mitt. I mean, you generally do things right. Push your own bill. You wrote the bill. I call it the Romney plan. Everyone else calls it the Romney plan. Push your own bill. Gary, I've been posting on Facebook pages. Purple Power for Life. Amen. Donna May, that's right. Fire under their lazy butts. Raw toast. Are people who work at the LA Harbor, Longshore eligible for hazard pay if it passes? Yes. All boating people are covered. Maritime is one of those big industries that's absolutely covered. Connie, posting on Facebook. Joan Gill, it'll be so G-ful when we get to change our presentation. James Greeley, you're doing a heck of a job, and everyone appreciates you so much for what you're trying to do, but we're finding a dead horse. Carla Lee, waiting on more names. Seats for stimulus. Don Richardson. It got copied twice. Tammy Hill. Hey, Purple Power, Birmingham, Alabama here. I love Birmingham, Alabama. All right, so you know what the deal is. You got to be on social media. You got to tag the problem solvers. We need to tag the Blue Dogs, tag the New Age Democrats, tag Romney. Then, people have asked me, can the president do it by executive order or hazard pay? Absolutely, you could do it by executive order. Will he do it? I don't know. I've never really pushed that discussion. Take this video, share it, tag the politicians with this video, share the video on Facebook, keep the discussion going. Hazard pay, this is the channel that talks about hazard pay every single day. Who's fighting for hazard pay? But this channel and these viewers of this channel, we are together fighting for hazard pay. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused. Go to the front of the channel, subscribe. Subscribe because this is the best damn community out there for you. This community is growing really fast because we really care about one another. Also like this video because this is going to be the best starred video, probably the only video you're going to see published today about hazard pay. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay alive for more.